everyone. Welcome to the... Wow. Woo. Wow. Welcome to The View. Damn it. No. So, everybody good?
Yeah.
Everybody looks good? Okay, so let's go right to it. Wrestler Hulk Hogan is in the middle of a really ugly divorce and a really ugly story. And it's so bad that he told Rolling Stone, I could have turned everything into a crime scene like O.J.
Keep going.
I'm going to. Cutting everybody's throat. And goes on to voice his frustration about his estranged wife, Linda, sleeping in his house with a 19-year-old pool boy. So... people, of course, have lost their minds a little bit about it because they think it's really the wrong thing to say. But, you know, when you're speaking... see, people don't realize when they're talking to reporters, you can have all that pent-up anger. You could say what you would say to your friend next to you and curse the person out, but you can't say it to a reporter because they write it right down.
Well, no one ever said he was the brightest.
Well, what if he's just being honest? I mean, that's...
He said he looks at his wife living in his $20 million home that he can no longer go into, and this pool boy is able to have access to it. He's looking at this man driving his car. He's, you know, I can't say anything due to legal constraints, but I agree.
Wait. I know you agree, and there isn't any. There's almost no divorce where there's another woman or another man in your house and your bed taking care of your child, whatever.
Sure.
Everybody understands, but that doesn't mean that you're going to take a knife to this woman.
I don't think Hulk Hogan meant what he said. I think he was trying to...
But I don't think he did either.
But, Barbara...
no, we understand, and he has since apologized.
Yeah. Sure.
But what upsets everybody is violence. And even though you say you agree, you agree with the...
He's a wrestler. He's a liar.
My stand-up I talked about. There's a
WWF belt. This guy was hanging from, like, the sides of those rings
but
and throwing himself on people.
Anybody who's dealt with that, you know that there is, for a little second, there's a feeling that comes up in your stomach.
A second. Yeah. Sometimes it lasts for like a couple of years. Where you just... but the thing is, you have to figure out when you can say certain things. Like, I could say that to you in the room.
Right.
I wish I could kill him.
Yes.
I could just kill him.
Remember what so-and-so did? Oh, I want to just give them a... But to say... you can't say it out loud. Sometimes you got to, like,
apologize.
Why can't this wife go to a hotel like everybody else?
Because she's got a $20 million mansion. Why would you go to a hotel?
What you're saying is right. I think on point, Whoopi. Like, sometimes you should refer to your inner dialogue, right?
Yeah. Just keep sometimes you just got to keep it. And it's hard to do, as I know. Because things slip out all the time.
Everybody.
So now, there are laws in the Middle East that have been sparking international outrage lately. A new law in Afghanistan allows a husband to demand sex from his wife every 4 days, and she can be stoned. And I don't mean like stoned. I mean taking a rock and stoned for not complying.
Yeah. Right.
Now, you know, there are so many of these kinds of stories that we've been hearing.
What's interesting about that, though, because this is, as we know from the past, the way the Taliban has treated so many women, is that this time there was a protest for 300 women protesting this law. That's a very courageous and dangerous thing to do. And they did. But first, that surprised many of us, that they even had the courage to do it. But what sort of surprised me more is that the majority, the other women came out more and liked the law.
Or did they fear the law? I think there was more of a fear.
I don't know. I'm only telling you what I read. I wasn't there.
When you were raised with something from the time you were born, that this is the way it is, it becomes kind of your idea. But I don't know so much if you like
you become basically the slave to the man, is what it is. And it's interesting, I suppose you're forced to get married also, because otherwise you could stay single or become a lesbian.
Well, look at what happened in Saudi Arabia. We had that. What about that 8-year-old girl who was sold out of her father's debt to a man to marriage, you know, and he's supposed to not consummate the marriage. Right, but I'm saying, you know, we talk about women's rights in this country, and we get nitpicky about discrimination, as we should. But I think so many times, you know, we take for granted these women. Think about what happened in Iraq. When you saw those women voting for the first time, they were able to cast a vote. They could run in elections for the first time. These women now, to hear what they have to go through, I mean, we are
but if you've
thoroughly fortunate here.
Traveled at all in that part of, not even travel, but I mean, we've been hearing about this in Saudi Arabia. We go back.
Leno has been talking about this for years and years and years, trying to get people's attention.
And the horror that takes place in some places in Africa, in tribes, about clitoral mutilation.
Right, yes.
But you know, we hear about it and we read about it. What interested me was that we are beginning to see some of these women having the courage to protest.
Well, I was reading that the president of Afghanistan could renege on this, that the law is not official yet, and I think that the protest and the pressure that he's under could force him to go backwards, which would be great for these girls.
I would just love people, you know, I would just love people to get on these men and try to change some of these ideas that men have about the way they treat women.
But it isn't what you're dealing with this is not just men. This is religion, this is culture, this is ingrained into people. Because, you know, recently there was the young couple who wanted to go and get married. And they were trying to elope, and the Taliban killed them off.
But we've also heard in other countries, not just the Taliban, about honor killings. You know, if your sister or
it goes on.
Your niece or something has a relationship with someone she's not married to, or even in Saudi Arabia, if you're in a car that's not sanctioned by the official driver and so on, there are such things as honor killings. We're doing this for the sake of the family. It is barbaric in this day and age that we still have this.
Where is the line drawn with how much we can go in and try to change?
That's the issue.
Education.
You have to
come from within.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying you're trying to change ideals, that are ingrained, that it's very, very hard.
Well, I think it also is. You know, it's taken us a very long time in this country to pick up on a lot of things that were women-oriented. So this is, maybe it's just a slow wave and it's taken a little time to get around. But as you said, Barbara, a lot has changed because 5 years ago, women would not have gotten out and protested. You would not have seen women running for office in various countries, and so things can get better, will get better, the more we're paying attention,
including
I guess.
Saudi Arabia. There are women now in parts of the government.
So we have to sort of be vigilant and help our sisters where we can.
You gotta admit, you must love it if we wanted to do it every 4 days with you. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you just love that? Yeah. I think men would like that.
Not all men. Some men have headaches also,
Oh, please.
And some men have sensitivity and some men have understanding.
Yeah. Well, if you got a guy who's trying to do you every day, I think every 4 days is better.
I think every 4 days is good.
I think every couple of weeks is better.
It's basically rape. Let's call it what it is.
We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.